Okay, I'm just going to finish this off with a little bit more scene organization here and then finishing it up. So, before we texture, if I were to take this and make this one here, actually I didn't delete the history on that. Let's just go and delete the history on everything. Boop. Okay, there's a lamp arm one. The pivot point's down here at the bottom. So, it says 0, 1 on it. If I make a duplicate with a 0, 1 and 0, 2, it'll automatically make that into a 2. Okay, so if you have a number at the very end, just an interesting little trick that you can do. Actually, you know what I forgot to do? Before I duplicate this, I was just going to change the orientation of some of these. I can almost see I could break this off. But I'm trying not to do too much of this in a video, but whatever. I just ended up doing it. This one here, let's turn this off so I can kind of see what I'm doing. And that one's kind of warped, but I'll do something like this so it's kind of a bit potentially straighter. Same with this one. Something like that. This one's kind of straight already. A little bit funky here and there. This one here looks like it's kind of straight already. Great. I'll leave the rest alone. Okay, so now when I take this and I make a duplicate and I hold down J, 180 degrees, great. And we've got another one here named Lamp Arm 2. Okay, let's close this up. And there's this lamp group here. And we're going to make a couple more of these. So lamp group, if I make a duplicate, it's going to go in here and let's see, I make a duplicate. There's a duplicate of the group. The pivot point's down kind of in the bottom. Let's put the wireframe unshaded so I'm looking to kind of tell what I'm doing. I'm going to turn the texture off. If I just hold down V and I middle click wiggle, look, come on. Oh, it's trapped in that one direction. It has to be yellow in the center for that trick to work. Doink. There. I'm going to make another duplicate and I'll hold down V and middle click wiggle. Boink. There. Okay, so I've got some potential naming issues here. Okay, they're all the same. We got the groups. Almost want to keep those groups in here, so just take this and I'll do something like 0, 1 underscore. And instead of 1, we'll call it 2. And we'll call this 3. Okay, and anything else I want to do? Let's see. If I go up to modify, there's a thing called prefix hierarchy name, which will change the prefix on everything that you have. Okay, or we can also use search and replace. And so here I'm going to hit edit, reset settings. And I can search for, you can search for names in here and then type them out and it'll find them and it'll replace them with whatever name you want. In this case here, I want to put a suffix on. Okay, so there is no suffix modification right here. The suffix, what I need is I need the money sign, that's your wildcard, and in here I'm going to put in underscore 01. And so now if I grab these four and I hit this, it puts those on the back. These ones here, that's going to be part of number 2. Apply, boom. There, 3, apply, done. Okay, I could also do things like identify them all as mesh as well. So if I grabbed all of these objects, you might notice that I haven't identified them as those are geometry, right? So I could go in here, underscore mesh, so I know those are the names of these things, and when I hit apply, there. So now it's got the name mesh on the end. There's groups, and then if I take all these pieces and these groups here, and I group the group, and then I've got lamp underscore post underscore group, or I could even call it the root if I wanted to, but there we go, it's organized and done. Oops. So that's all figured out. And then the next thing is just to take a look at the textures. If we were working on a video game potentially, right, then we could have UVs that are overlapping, but we're not. We're trying to do something more kind of like towards a TV show potentially, something like that. So we're going to go into the UV editor, and there are things that are overlapping. If I put this on, you can typically see them. Where are they? Some of them will be a darker blue. See, this one here is darker blue than that. You can see this is definitely darker blue. And I just grab the UVs, everything, and I use my little trick here. Unfold 3D, shell pre-rotations are off, preserve 3D ratios is on. One of the big differences between Unfold 3D and Legacy is this little flip reverse faces thing. Okay, that's one of these blessings that's in here. I'm just going to hit apply. It's going to take everything, it's going to repack it. And if I deselect it and I take a look, all my UVs are packed relatively well. So they should be roughly the same size. Some of this is going to be a little bit skewed in here because I kind of tried to cut around some corners here on the pole, figuring that no one's really going to notice the details. As long as it's been kind of unfolded here, I don't think anyone's going to notice. If it starts to turn into like some kind of hard metal surface, then I got to maybe rethink that. But there we have it. This thing is ready to go. I might do, let's see, is there any tests I can do here? If I bring in the UV toolkit, if I grab all the UVs, a good one is to look for back-facing stuff. Nothing. Okay, grab everything, hit overlapping UVs. We don't want any overlapping UVs. There seems to be no problem. I can also, if I grab all the UVs, if I turn on this texture here, the grid texture that comes with Maya, you'll see that if you go outside of the 0 to 1 area, the grid starts to show you that, and so that's handy sometimes. I just find that it doesn't do a very good job of showing you stretching UVs because everything's square, right? And I like all these other little lines and stuff like that. They seem to show off to me. It's looking like everything looks fine here, but this one here tends to show off more problems. And it also too shows me like the direction so that everything is kind of like straight up and down. Let's turn that off again, turn this off, more or less. Okay, and I think that's it. That's the cleaning up the UVs and getting ready for texturing.